Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on SCP Explain. Today we're gonna see what happens when SCP-096, aka the Shy Guy, faces off against CHOO Charles? Wait, really? You're sending the Shy Guy up against a spider tank? You know what? Fine. Let's see how fast let's see how fast Shy Guy can kill this spider.
Somehow, most likely through some nefarious means, a fateful postcard has been sent to one of the residents of the murky, mysterious Araniram Island. Living on this particular island was already a strange and scary enough existence, given the horrors the inhabitants of Anariram share their home with. But perhaps the only thing just as horrible as life on that island was being sent a postcard. Sure, that doesn't sound all that horrible. Postcards are usually used to show a corner of the world far away and extend well wishes from friends or relatives on vacations. But ordinarily, postcards don't depict a photo of SCP-096 with the words, "Wish he was there," scrawled on the other side. From its containment cell at the SCP Foundation, the Shy Guy instantly sensed that somebody, somewhere, had seen a picture of its face. Breaking down into an enraged fit of
confidence. And we're back.
Vital insecurity. SCP-096 immediately broke from its containment chamber and made a cross-country beeline, heading straight for Araniram at anomalously accelerated speeds.
If he wasn't a murderer,
little
he
did
would
the
be
creature
the best
or the Foundation know that the Shy Guy was being led straight into a trap. And the poor island resident who had received the chilling postcard, well, they were unlucky enough to be the bait. While the SCP Foundation started frantically trying to track down where it had gone, the Shy Guy had already made its way to a wooden cabin belonging to the unfortunate postcard recipient. Emerging from the now emptied home once the owner was no more, SCP-096 would have returned to his cell just as quickly as he left. That is, if he wasn't the only monstrous creature on the island. A loud and sudden noise caught the creature's attention, the sound of an old steam train whistle. It rang out once more from somewhere off in the distance, but there was so much thick fog hanging in the air around Araniram that it was almost impossible to see anything, especially with how dark it was. The second time the whistle sounded, it was closer, but there was another sound too, and not the loud chugging of a steam engine that you would expect. It was an erratic, heavy thudding, the noise of lots of somethings drumming against the ground, causing the earth itself to shudder. Legs. They were the steps of multiple huge legs, crawling across the surface of the island, heading straight towards SCP-096. A third piercing whistle rang out, even closer still. This time, the orange glow of a light could be seen, dulled by the surrounding fog, but getting brighter and clearer as it came closer. The light was casting shadows against the dark fog, long, spindly shapes of spidery appendages, until before the Shy Guy's eyes, a creature of pure nightmares came bursting out of the fog. It was a monstrous sight, even to SCP-096. Its body was the red front engine of an old-fashioned steam train.
Hold on, folks. One moment. We're back.
Train, hoisted off the ground by 4 pairs of enormous, black, spindly, spider-like legs that propelled the beast forwards at a terrifying speed. Able to move without the limitations of needing to follow a railroad track, the monster was barreling towards SCP-096 with a twisted smile on its grotesque face. At the front of the locomotive was its circular face, with its unnaturally white eyes and a mouth that sported rows of razor-sharp teeth, all covered in blood. This hellish abomination, a being that was part steam engine and part giant spider, was the terror of Araniram himself, the carnivorous CHOO Charles. Seeing Charles racing towards them on its 8 spider legs would be enough to make anyone freeze up and stop in their tracks out of sheer terror, and SCP-096 was compelled to do the same. Except the terrifying train creature's pale eyes were looking directly at the Shy Guy. As Charles sized the anomaly up as its next meal, he was looking at it. And that meant SCP-096 had to kill him.
Do it.
The question was, how could it? How could the skinny, spindly humanoid hope to even fight something like CHOO Charles? He was
a shy guy. You could break a tree in half.
But as quick as Charles could move on his spidery legs, he was not faster than SCP-096. In the blink of an eye, the shy guy raced off shrieking and sobbing in despair, leaving Charles to continue roaming his island territory in search of other human inhabitants to terrorize. SCP-096 had retreated to some—
Oh, come on, no. We're back.
Nearby woods, quick enough to move out of Charles's path somewhere it could hide, for now. But the shy guy could feel a familiar,
this bug is
painful
kind of
feeling,
annoying.
almost pulling him back towards CHOO Charles, right back into harm's way. SCP-096 possessed an inescapable compulsion to kill anyone who looked at its face, and that seemed to include horrifying part train, part spider hybrids. It was a fact of the shy guy's very existence. He had to go after whoever looked at him and make them pay. In fact, it took all the creature's own strength not to instantly rush back over to Charles to try. SCP-096 knew that if it did, then there was little chance it would survive coming face to face with the terror of Aranirum.
Wait,
however,
you really
while it was watching CHOO Charles from a safe distance, seeing him crawl across the landscape on his multiple legs, that SCP-096 noticed something. It was another light obscured by the fog, but this one was much higher up. One could almost mistake it for the moon, if it wasn't getting closer, all the while accompanied by the sound of whirring rotors. Well, the shy guy had been evading CHOO Charles. The SCP Foundation had been tirelessly trying to track down its location, and now they'd found their runaway anomaly here on Aranirum Island. As the chopper carrying the mobile task force drew nearer, the tyrannical train turned and took notice. To SCP-096, the Foundation's arrival could have meant a way home and away from the spidery steam engine.
Get me out of here!
To Charles, the approaching chopper meant only one thing: a new source of food.
Captain!
One of the MTF troops aboard the chopper called over his headset.
What is it? Do we have eyes on SCP-096?
The captain replied before realizing what he'd said.
Well, not eyes on, because then they would have jumped up onto the chopper and killed us all. I mean, is there any sign of SCP-096 on the island? Negative, sir, although you should probably see this.
The soldier
you better come
replied.
take a look at this cliche.
Begrudgingly, the captain unbuckled himself from his seat and snatched the Foundation operative's binoculars, using them to look down at Aranirum below. It didn't take him long to spot the massive, multi-legged monstrosity that was CHOO Charles, who had fallen.
No, hold on. Did you guys see that? It looked like he was stick bugging us. It wasn't exactly the movements, but Charles, you jackass! You will stick bugging us! Oh, now I hope you get killed by the shy guy.
And still, waiting for the chopper to descend low enough for him to reach.
Good gravy, what on earth is that thing?
The captain exclaimed, before taking another look through the binoculars.
Is that? Wait. What is an instance of SCP-2086 doing out here?
SCP-2086 was an infamous anomalous species the Foundation had encountered before. Much like Charles, they were anthropod-like creatures with multiple long legs that protruded from a body resembling a man-made mode of transport.
Okay, hold on. What did he call it? 2086? Let me Google that real quick. Okay, so, yeah, I didn't know shit about these insect buses. But yeah, it's apparently a species of arthropods that look exactly like public transport. Huh. Didn't expect that.
However, SCP-2086s usually took on the appearance of buses while in vehicle form.
Sir, I don't think that's an SCP-2086,
the lookout replied.
To me, it looks more like an instance of SCP-3023. Impossible, all the way out here?
The captain retorted.
We're nowhere near the region where the anomaly occurs. It could have scurried its way from Germany and taken nest here, sir.
The trooper responded. Yet another anomaly that CHOO Charles bore a striking resemblance to. SCP-3023 was a rare phenomenon that was known to occur at random, but was limited to a specific area of central Germany. The effect of this phenomenon caused ordinary, everyday, inanimate objects of any shape or size to suddenly turn into aggressive spiders, sporting 8 legs that grew from whatever was affected by SCP-3023. Perhaps CHOO Charles was indeed an instance of SCP-3023, or some distant evolutionary offshoot of SCP-2086. It was hard to say for sure. The only thing for sure was that Charles was a man-eating beast, more so than an insidious villain. And being so highly territorial, he considered the entire island of Aranirum to be his natural habitat and his
schedule service online now.
And we're back.
Hunting ground. Anything that arrived in his vicinity was prey to the terrifying train, and his ravenous craving for human flesh meant he was ready to attack the descending SCP Foundation chopper.
All right, let's go, go, go!
The MTF captain called to his troops, signaling them to start rappelling out of the helicopter and down to the island.
Keep your scramble goggles on max, we still need to recapture 096. But first priority is taking down this big ugly beast.
Wearing goggles specifically designed to distort the Shy Guy from their view, the team began abseiling out of the aircraft. But CHOO Charles was already waiting for them. Rearing back on its four back legs, the nightmarish train spider swiped at the descending MTF operatives. What first seemed like an instinctive, uncoordinated assault quickly became precise and relentless strikes as Charles sliced through some of the cables the MTF troops were using to rappel down. Their lifeline cut, the unlucky Foundation operatives plummeted from mid-air, right down towards where the terror of Aranirum was waiting for them to fall. A few of the MTFs made it to the ground alive, and immediately began retaliating against CHOO Charles. The gunfire from their weapons flickered all around the carnivorous creature, but their bullets could barely chip the red paintwork on his steam train body. Dashing towards his helpless human prey on his many legs, Charles began to feast. Then suddenly, something started pulling at one of his huge spider legs, pulling Charles back moments before he had a chance to claim his latest victim, the captain of the Foundation's MTF. It was SCP-096, having zipped out of hiding and shrieking wildly as it used all of its strength to wrench one of CHOO Charles's multiple limbs. Angered that it couldn't reach the MTF captain, the part spider, part train hybrid stomped the leg that was being pulled in a successful attempt to free itself from the Shy Guy's grip. But in the same instant, SCP-096 used its anomalous speed to reappear in front of the already angered locomotive monster. With his railroad rage about to reach its breaking point, Charles entered into a relentless rampage, making quick work of the leftover MTF troops before setting his sights squarely on SCP-096. But doing that was his biggest mistake. Now CHOO Charles had seen the Shy Guy twice, and to the insecure anomaly, that meant Charles had to go. Traveling faster than even the multi-legged monstrosity could perceive, SCP-096 began racing towards CHOO Charles's many legs. The Shy Guy had realized that it didn't stand a chance of dealing with the terror of Aranirum the same way it handled all the others that had seen its face. So instead, it had settled on a new approach, specifically tailored to taking down the spider-legged steam engine. One by one, SCP-096 started knocking Charles's many legs out from underneath him, effectively tripping him up over and over again. The Shy Guy moved so quick that the cumbersome Charles could barely react in time, having one leg after the other knocked out from beneath him, causing him to tumble to the ground.
Rip him out of that
Normally,
shell.
CHOO Charles was smart enough to retreat if he encountered something that could fight back. If he was injured badly enough, the spider-like creature would scuttle out of harm's way in order to heal his wounds. But the rage at being constantly tripped up by SCP-096 was distracting Charles from the Shy Guy's true ploy. With every leg it knocked out from underneath the spidery steam train, SCP-096 had been gradually directing Charles towards a nearby gorge. With a terrifying burst of anomalous speed, the Shy Guy caused CHOO Charles to topple over sideways.
Did he just dropkick him?
Over himself until he landed upside down.
I'm sorry, but that was awesome. 96 just straight up said, "Dropkick, bitch!" Now that is awesome. I would love to see more SCPs just do stuff like that.
Down in the bottom of the rocky gorge, the multi-legged locomotive monster's spindly legs flailed desperately as he tried to reposition himself, but with no luck. SCP-096 had managed what first seemed to be impossible and beaten the terror of Aranirum, CHOO Charles. Or, for now, at least. Now go and check out SCP-096 versus SCP-343 and SCP-096 versus SCP-106 for more.
Well, folks, that's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.